Hi, I'm Jenna Nicholas. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Impact Experience, and it's been so inspiring being here in New Orleans this weekend with people from Sonoma and Houston and New Orleans itself, really looking at tools for inclusive resiliency and recovery processes.
What gives me hope about this area of disaster and overcoming the challenges present with Hurricane Katrina is that this city has really rebounded through arts and culture and music. It's overcome challenges through entrepreneurship, through amazing organizations that are here and amazing people that are here. And then really the structure of people coming together to build one strategy across the entire city.
Part of the biggest problems that people had in the wake of Hurricane Katrina was that their communities were disrupted, that they were separated from the people, the institutions, the places that they had come accustomed to, and that they found themselves in places where community was not important, where community was not valued, where people didn't know their neighbor or didn't care to.
It was shocking to hear Ms. Vera today talk about how the education system has been crippled since Hurricane Katrina. You know, here we are probably 15 years later, and they are the only city in the United States that doesn't have a single public school. They are all charter schools. Does anybody know that outside of New Orleans?
I mean, Katrina for me personally was a turning point for kind of my view of the world and my feeling of safety, if that's not too big a word for it, in the United States. I mean, Katrina is what helped me realize as a younger person that like they're not coming for us, that we're on our own.
You know, once you go through a disaster, you're really curious about how other places recover, and of course everybody looks right towards what happened here with Katrina, and to try to figure out like what was here before, what was here after, what's been restored. Instead of a rebuild, it feels like a restoration in some ways. You know, what stage they're at. It's beautiful and it's inspiring and it's very educational.
What draws me to Impact Experience, and particularly this event here in New Orleans, is that to be in community with individuals that also work in the field of social justice in some way, shape, or form, but oftentimes in a different way that I do.
The Impact Experience of forcing communities or people who actually have the money and are in different support positions amongst communities to come together to speak about solutions in a situation where there is a problem, I think is extremely powerful. We can't underestimate the power of convening those people that need to actually hear the voices and understand the local issues.
So the way I would describe Impact Experience is similar to the physical sort of collider that we talk about as it relates to atoms, right? The only difference is Impact Experience is doing it with people, doing it with ideas, doing it with sort of people from all these different varied backgrounds being put into this primed environment to bounce off each other. And the reality is that it's a work that literally, as a part of the co-creation space, you get to see things get created or ideas sort of permeate that didn't exist prior to this gathering.
There is no question that inclusion is the way forward in our resilience building work. That for us to have true community resilience and develop that for everybody, we need to be radically inclusive.
So it's one thing to get the commitment, but I think the challenge is in how do you actually implement and deliver on that commitment. And that's where we're beginning to have exploratory conversations around that. And there will be needs to help resource and leverage resources to help build that reality on the ground. So I see a process like this as helping to bring people together and begin that experiential learning and work towards delivering hopefully what will be good outcomes.
I'm a big believer in Impact Experience, and I think there's a lot of ways that the Impact Experience model can grow as well. So I'm looking forward to supporting them in that journey too.
Because these kinds of conversations open up the world to us, and it drives us towards change. So I'm just inspired to be here. I'm inspired to share, and it's nice to be quiet and still enough to be able to not just hear the shouts, but the whispers.